Hey guys, what a gem. The late Phil Boguszewski made some of the nicest knives, period. And he didn't use machines. He didn't use CNC stuff. It was before then, he used hand tools and he used grinders and he used other things that took a lot of work to create these beautiful pieces. I'll tell you a little bit more in a moment. This is a Bigger Apple, which is a collaboration between Martin Reingold and Tashi. Tashi did the design. I think Martin came up with the idea. The build was Phil Boguszewski. This is called the Bigger Apple. He also made a Big Apple, probably made about 20 Big Apples, and from what I can remember and find out, I made half a dozen calls. He made about 3 of these Bigger Apples. This is number 2. It's based on a Loveless New York Special profile, and it's really a beautiful piece. Pretty sure that's canvas micarta. Actually, it's, I just realized from that sheet we just looked at, it's G10, a green, gray G10. Incredible action. Perfect lockup, easy lock release, nice resistance coming back, blade's dead center. This guy is pre-owned in mint condition. Let me tell you a couple of things about, because most of you, at least half of you, have never met Phil Boguszewski. I'd say a quarter of you never seen one. But for those of us who were around back then, when Phil was making these beautiful pieces, this is a special one. So Phil always used to say he'd spend as much time tweaking the action as he did building the parts. Meaning, a Boguszewski wouldn't go out until Phil had it 100% perfect to his standard, and his standard was higher than anybody else's. That's one of the reasons he came up with that proprietary pivot slot, or whatever you want to call those 3 dots. He didn't want you or me adjusting the action, handing his knife to somebody else, and then they'd say, Boguszewski isn't so good. That's just not true. So he doesn't use bearings. You can see they're bronze phosphor washers, and his action is every bit as good. And this is, I don't know, 10, 15 years later, his action is every bit as good as any makers today using IKBS or anything else. It's just incredible how detail-oriented he was, and actually how compulsive he was. Really just an outstanding piece. I keep doing the action, A, because it's fun, and B, so you can see that I'm not kidding about how good it is. He's an old school maker, and like many old school makers, Bob Dozier, many others, tip down was the only way he'd make a knife. And he may have made a couple tip up, but that would have been a special customer's request. And reason being is, when you put it in your pocket and you reach in, there's no way that the blade is going to partial open and cut you. So that's not today's standard by any means. And again, all the arguments make sense. All the arguments are sound. But as an old school maker, tip down made much more sense. When it's in your pocket, the blade's pointing down, so even if it were open, reaching in your pocket would close it, as opposed to getting between the blade and the frame and doing what would amount to be obviously some damage to yourself. All right, I'm over 5 minutes on this beauty. I know I've told you everything about it that I know. That doesn't mean I'm done playing with it, but it means I'm not going to bore you anymore with watching this. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching.